Hey everyone, welcome to a deep dive on scaling up your business. So I know you're ready to take things to the next level.
Absolutely.
We've got two great sources here, scaling up fast and diving deeper into scaling up. Looks like a ton of great strategies.
Yeah, definitely some practical tips. I'm really excited to dig in.
Me too. Are you ready to find those golden nuggets to make a difference for you?
Oh, yeah. I think one thing that both sources emphasize is the need for a strong foundation before you even think about scaling.
Okay.
Not just having a great product or service. It's the business model, operations, and even the vision, making sure those are really built for growth.
That's interesting. Scaling up fast uses this analogy of building a skyscraper.
Nice.
So what happens if you try to scale up without a solid foundation? What are the risks?
Well, imagine you're building a house, but it's on sand.
Okay, yeah.
It might look good at first, but you get a little wave and the whole thing's washed away.
Right.
In business, that wave could be a sudden surge in demand. It could be a competitor you didn't expect, or even internal inefficiencies. And those all get magnified as you grow.
Right.
Weak foundation can lead to instability, poor customer experiences, and you just fail to grow when you have the opportunity.
Okay, so foundation first, got it. But then diving deeper jumps into all these funding options.
Yeah, it does.
Venture capital, angel investors, even bootstrapping. It's a lot. How do you even begin to choose?
I know, right? It can be very overwhelming, all those options. But instead of just listing pros and cons, let's think about it like a framework.
Okay.
So first, how fast do you want to scale?
Yeah.
And what level of risk are you comfortable with? Venture capital, that's rapid expansion, but you're giving up some control.
Right.
If you want to maintain ownership, bootstrapping, angel investors, those might be better. Maybe a little slower growth, though. And don't forget those traditional bank loans. Good option for established businesses with strong financials.
Oh, right. So it's not just the type of funding, but making sure it aligns with your vision and your tolerance for risk.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, diving deeper also stresses financial forecasting and cash flow management. Why are those so crucial?
Well, imagine you're driving, you never check that fuel gauge, right?
Yeah.
You could be cruising along, that boom, out of gas.
Yeah.
In a business, your cash flow, that's your fuel.
Makes sense.
So financial forecasting, that helps you anticipate, making sure you have enough fuel to cover those expenses and invest in those growth opportunities and weather those unexpected storms. Even a profitable business can find itself in trouble without it.
That's a great analogy. Now, diving deeper also mentions something called scalable infrastructure.
Yes.
This is where it gets interesting, but honestly, a little intimidating, the term. What does it actually mean for someone running a business?
Yeah, no, it sounds a little scary, but it's all about making sure your operations can handle it when demand increases.
Okay.
So, if your business relies on online sales, you've got to have powerful enough servers. That way you can handle it if there's a surge in traffic.
Right.
Say you're in manufacturing, you need the production capacity and a flexible supply chain. Ramp up production, but keep that quality high.
Right.
It's about finding those bottlenecks. Maybe in your tech, maybe physical space, or even your processes.
Yeah.
And then address them proactively so that growth is smooth.
So it's about making sure that every part of the business can kind of expand and adapt as you scale.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Almost like creating this flexible framework that can grow with you.
Exactly, a flexible framework. And that flexibility, that applies to your team too.
Oh, okay.
Scaling up fast talks about the importance of building a stellar team. Not just filling positions, but the right people.
Right.
People who can really contribute as the company grows.
So what makes a team truly stellar in that context?
Well, beyond just skills and experience, right?
Yeah.
As you scale, you need people who are adaptable.
Okay.
Who can embrace change and are passionate about the company's vision.
Right.
And cultural fit, that's crucial. People who thrive in that fast-paced environment, collaborative, share your core values.
Makes sense.
Remember, as you grow, your team becomes your biggest asset. Unless you don't build it strategically, then it can be your biggest liability.
Oh, wow. So it's finding people who aren't just skilled, but align with the culture and the vision, excited about the journey.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's not just hiring the right people.
Okay.
It's empowering them, creating that work environment where they feel valued, heard, motivated to really give their best.
Got it.
Both scaling up fast and diving deeper, they highlight the importance of a positive, supportive work environment.
Okay, but how does that translate into results?
Yeah.
Especially when you're scaling and things are constantly changing.
Well, think of a positive work environment, like fertile soil,
Okay.
Your employees feel supported, appreciated. They're going to be engaged, productive, innovative,
Yeah.
willing to go that extra mile, come up with creative solutions, and weather those challenges that come with growth.
Yeah.
But a negative environment, that can drain morale. You stifle creativity. You hinder your ability to scale successfully.
It's amazing how culture, which sounds kind of intangible, has such a tangible impact.
Absolutely. And speaking of prioritizing, we've got to talk about the customer. Both sources emphasize reaching those wider audiences as you grow, especially through digital marketing.
Right, but it's not just about shouting your message as loud as possible.
No, definitely not.
Diving deeper really emphasizes targeting the right audience. The ones who are most likely to become loyal customers fuel your growth. They even say, acquiring customers is great, but keeping them coming back is goal LD.
Yes, I love that quote. It's easy to get caught up in reaching those new customers. But remember, sustainable growth,
Yeah.
that's built on strong customer relationships. So targeting the right audience, that means you're attracting people who genuinely value your product, people who are likely to make repeat purchases, who will actually become advocates for your brand.
So it's not just about reach, but about resonance.
Exactly. You want to connect with the people who truly align with your brand, with its values.
Yeah.
And technology can play a huge role in both those things. Targeting the right audience,
Wow.
nurturing those relationships.
Scaling up fast talks about the power of automation and data analytics. What I find fascinating is those tools streamline operations, but also personalize those customer experiences.
That's where the magic happens. Imagine using data to understand what your customer wants.
Yeah.
And you could offer it to them even before they know they want it. Or picture automating all those tedious tasks.
Oh, yes.
So your team can focus on the strategic and creative work, building those meaningful relationships. That's the power of technology.
So technology isn't just about fancy gadgets, but working smarter, not harder, and enhancing the human element of your business, both for your team and your customers.
Absolutely, you nailed it. Now let's not forget, scaling isn't always a smooth ride. Scaling up fast reminds us to embrace agility, learn from our mistakes.
That's a crucial point. Things change so fast, especially when you're growing rapidly. How can you cultivate that agility? Making sure you're learning from those inevitable missteps.
Well, it's about fostering a culture of experimentation.
Okay.
Continuous learning. Encourage your team to try new things, test ideas.
Yeah.
See setbacks as opportunities for growth. Create a safe space for people to share their mistakes and learn from each other.
Yeah, that's important.
Remember, the companies that are most successful are often the ones that are adaptable and resilient. They embrace change, learn from mistakes, constantly evolve.
Resilience, that's a great word to keep in mind. Now, scaling up fast also talks about strategic partnerships. Why are they so important when you're scaling?
Oh, for so many reasons. They can help you expand your reach, access new markets, gain valuable expertise, even mitigate risk. Think of it like this. You're on this journey and you come to a river. You could try to build a bridge yourself. That takes time, resources, or you could partner with someone who already has a boat. Cross the river more quickly, efficiently, maybe even learn something from each other along the way.
That's a great analogy. So strategic partnerships are about leveraging each other's strengths, resources, expertise, all to achieve shared goals.
Exactly. And you're going to face challenges as you scale, opportunities that you just can't handle alone.
Yeah.
Having a network of trusted partners, that can be a game changer.
So recognizing that scaling isn't a solo sport. It's a team effort. And that team can even extend beyond your internal employees to those strategic partners who can help you navigate everything.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on, I'm curious to hear what you think. We've covered a lot in this first part. Strong foundation, stellar team, harnessing technology, even taking care of yourself. What's resonating with you so far?
That's a great question to ponder. We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
But this is just the beginning of our deep dive into scaling. There's still so much more to explore.
Yeah, it's fascinating how different parts of scaling kind of resonate differently with different people, depending on where they are in their journey.
Yeah.
Some folks are laser focused on that funding. Others, maybe they're struggling to build that right team.
Right.
Or they're trying to figure out which technologies they need.
It's true, yeah. I think having this roadmap, like we're making today, it can be so helpful. It lets you see the bigger picture. You can spot those roadblocks.
Exactly.
And be more intentional and more strategic about how you scale.
Yeah, and it's not about following some rigid set of steps, right? It's understanding those underlying principles, the why, not just the what.
Right.
And then applying them in a way that works for your business.
Right. Speaking of applying principles, both sources mention risk management.
Uh-huh.
Scaling up fast really highlights insurance, which can be easy to overlook.
Yes, absolutely. You get so caught up in the excitement of growth, you forget those practical things.
It's like building this incredible house, but you forget the roof.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You might be enjoying the sun, but then the storm comes.
Right.
Insurance, that's your roof.
I see.
Protection against those unforeseen events. Natural disasters, accidents, lawsuits, even data breaches nowadays.
It's true.
It's about that safety net. You can focus on growth and not worry about everything that could go wrong.
Yeah, I like that analogy, not being pessimistic, just prepared, protected from those setbacks.
Right, exactly. And just like you wouldn't build a house without a solid foundation, you shouldn't scale without a risk management plan.
Right, it's part of sustainable growth. Now, something that really resonated with me in scaling up fast was the emphasis on the entrepreneur's well-being.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially mental and physical health.
Absolutely.
It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, those long hours, the pressure.
It's such a common trap. Burnout is so prevalent among entrepreneurs. Scaling up fast reminds us we can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Yeah.
Taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, that's not a luxury. It's essential. It's an investment for your long-term success, personally and professionally.
You can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself first.
Exactly.
If you're running on empty, you can't lead effectively, make good decisions, handle those inevitable storms.
That's right. Prioritizing self-care, setting boundaries, asking for help when you need it, those aren't signs of weakness.
Right.
They're signs of strength and wisdom.
Yeah.
So you can be the best version of yourself, which ultimately benefits your business.
While diving deeper doesn't explicitly talk about well-being, it does talk a lot about building a strong company culture.
Right.
Do you see a connection there?
Oh, absolutely. A healthy company culture, it values productivity, but also the well-being of its employees.
Okay.
People feel supported, respected, encouraged to be themselves at work.
Yeah.
That kind of environment fosters individual well-being, but also teamwork, creativity, a shared purpose.
Right.
All essential for scaling.
So it sounds like creating that positive, supportive culture, it's not just a nice bonus. It's strategic. It's essential for growth.
Exactly. It's creating an environment where people are energized, motivated, passionate about their work.
Right.
That kind of company attracts and keeps the best people. It navigates the challenges of scaling with resilience, you know.
Right. Both sources emphasize continuous learning and adaptation.
Yeah.
I love how scaling up fast puts it. Embrace agility, learn from mistakes, continuous improvement. Why is that so important when you're scaling?
Well, think of the business world like a river, right?
Okay.
It's always flowing, changing. There are new challenges, new opportunities.
Yeah.
If you're rigid, inflexible, you'll get swept away by the current.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're agile, you can navigate the twists and turns. You learn from the rapids. You reach your destination.
So it's about being open to new information, new ways of doing things, willing to adjust your course as needed.
Exactly. The entrepreneurs who are most successful are always learning, evolving, refining their approach. They don't fear change. They see setbacks as learning opportunities. They never stop improving.
It's that continuous improvement that's key.
Yes.
I'm curious about these data-driven decisions in scaling up fast.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds powerful, but I'm not sure what it means practically. Can you explain that a bit?
Absolutely. In the past, decisions were often based on intuition, experience, gut feelings.
Yeah.
But now we have so much data.
Right.
We can use that information to inform our decisions, make them more precise, more strategic.
So using data to get insights and make better choices.
Exactly. Imagine you're launching a marketing campaign.
Okay.
Before, you just guess which channels work best.
Right.
But with data analytics, you can track customer behavior, analyze trends, identify those channels that'll reach your audience, and give you the best return on investment.
Instead of shooting in the dark, you're using data to light the way.
Yes, exactly. And that goes for every part of scaling, from developing products to pricing to customer service operations.
Wow.
Data helps you find areas to improve, optimize your processes, make smarter decisions at every stage.
Data-driven decisions are about using the power of information to make those smart, strategic choices.
Absolutely. And we're always generating more data.
That's true.
So as you gather more, you refine your approach, you make better decisions, you increase your chances of success.
Now, before we move on to the last part of our deep dive, I want to bring it back to our listener. We've explored risk management, the importance of well-being, the power of data. What's standing out as relevant or intriguing to you? Anything sparked a new thought? Or maybe even a question?
Wow, it's amazing how all these different parts of scaling fit together.
It really is.
We've talked about a strong foundation, the right team, using technology, even taking care of yourself.
Yeah, it's all connected. Scaling isn't about just doing one thing right.
Right.
It's about bringing all these pieces together, making them work in harmony.
Like conducting an orchestra where every instrument plays a role in that beautiful symphony. Exactly, a beautiful symphony. And speaking of beautiful, scaling up fast talks about the importance of pivoting quickly when things change. The market changes, you got to adapt.
Yeah.
That sounds like it takes a certain fearlessness,
Yeah.
like being okay with the unknown. How can entrepreneurs become more adaptable? It starts with understanding that change is going to happen.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Especially in today's world, things move so fast.
Right.
Markets shift, technologies evolve, customers change their minds.
True.
The entrepreneurs who succeed are the ones who can adapt quickly. They see change as an opportunity, not a threat.
It's about having that growth mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Willingness to experiment, learn from mistakes, and adjust your course.
And it's not just reacting.
Right.
It's also being proactive.
Yeah.
Always looking ahead for those potential changes.
Yeah.
Be ready to pivot before you have to.
So it's a combination, being adaptable, being anticipatory, responding quickly while also staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where data can be so helpful. You track the important numbers, you analyze trends, you listen to your customers, you get those insights that help you anticipate those market shifts.
So you can make those informed decisions.
Yeah.
About when and how to change direction.
Exactly. It's like having a compass to navigate the ever-changing business world. Now, before we wrap up, let's go back to strategic partnerships.
Okay.
Scaling up fast spends a lot of time on this. They talk about how important collaboration is for growth. Why do you think that is?
I think it goes back to that idea of scaling being a team sport.
Yes.
You just can't do everything yourself, and you don't have to. Strategic partnerships let you use other people's strengths, resources, and knowledge to reach those goals together.
It's like building a puzzle,
Yeah,
You have some pieces, but you need others to complete the picture.
right.
Strategic partnerships, those are the missing pieces. Maybe it's access to new markets, maybe it's specialized knowledge, maybe it's a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
Something that challenges you to see things in a new way.
It's about realizing you don't have to go it alone. There are people out there who can help you fill in those gaps, achieve more together.
Exactly. And the great thing about strategic partnerships is they could look different. Maybe it's a formal agreement or an alliance or a mentor or even just working together on a project.
Makes sense.
The key is finding partners who share your values, your vision, and who bring something unique to the table.
So as we finish this deep dive into scaling, what's that one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
That's a tough one. Scaling has so many aspects. What clicks for one person might not for another.
Right.
But if I had to pick one thing, it would be this. Scaling is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes patience, persistence, and a willingness to constantly learn and adapt.
It's not about becoming an overnight success. It's about building a business that lasts.
Exactly. One that can handle those tough times and keep growing and changing for years to come.
And that's why it's so important to have a clear vision, a solid base, a great team, and be ready to be agile. Those are the things that will fuel your growth, guide your choices, and ultimately decide your success. So to our listeners, as you start your own scaling journey, remember, it's a process. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Celebrate the wins, learn from the setbacks, and never forget the passion and purpose that drives you.
And don't be afraid to ask for help. Find mentors. Build those partnerships. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and will be there along the way.
Right? Scaling might be a marathon, but it's better to share the journey.
I like that.
Well said. And remember, our deep dive might be ending, but your journey of learning and growth is just getting started. Keep exploring, keep trying new things, and keep scaling towards those dreams.